Welcome to today's video, where we'll be taking a closer look at the 1971 Australian 10-cent coin. A small yet significant piece of currency that continues to capture the attention of collectors and history enthusiasts. Even in circulated condition, this coin tells a fascinating story about design, heritage, and the role of coinage in everyday life. The Australian 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, at the time of decimalisation, when the country transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a modern decimal currency. By 1971, the design was already familiar to Australians, and it quickly became one of the most common coins in daily use. When we examine a 1971 10-cent coin in circulated condition, we can see the clear signs of its journey through countless hands, pockets, and tills. The surface often shows scratches, small nicks, and a loss of shine, but these marks only add to its story and authenticity. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and it was widely used on Commonwealth coinage during that period. In circulated condition, the finer details of her hair and tiara may appear faded, but the regal image still holds its power. On the reverse, we see a beautiful depiction of the lyrebird, one of Australia's most remarkable native birds. The lyrebird is famous for its ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds with incredible accuracy, and it has long been a symbol of uniqueness and adaptability in Australian wildlife. The design of the lyrebird was created by Stuart Devlin, the master engraver responsible for many of Australia's decimal coin designs. Even on a circulated coin, the flowing tail feathers of the lyrebird are a delight to study, as they sweep elegantly across the surface of the coin. In circulated condition, however, these details can sometimes be worn smooth, making the design appear more subtle. Still, there is a certain charm in holding a coin that has lived a full life in everyday transactions. The 10-cent coin of 1971 is made from cupronickel, a durable alloy of copper and nickel that gives the coin its silver-like appearance. Over time, circulation tends to dull the shine, and some coins may even take on a darker or more mottled tone. This natural aging process is part of what makes circulated coins appealing to many collectors. Each mark and discoloration is a reminder that the coin was part of someone's daily life more than 50 years ago. In terms of size, the 10-cent coin is relatively large compared to other minor denominations. Measuring 23.6 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5.65 grams, it feels substantial for its value. Even in circulated condition, this weight gives it a sense of importance. The year 1971 itself was not marked by any commemorative issues for the 10-cent coin, which means these coins carry the standard lyrebird design. However, their place in the broader story of Australian coinage makes them significant nonetheless. Collectors often seek out earlier decimal coins like the 1971 issue because they represent the first few years after decimalisation, a transformative period in Australia's monetary history. A circulated 1971 10-cent coin may not hold high monetary value today, but it does carry historical and sentimental value, especially for Australians who remember using it regularly. When you hold one of these coins, you are holding a piece of everyday history. It is easy to imagine it being used for a bus fare, a newspaper, or a small treat in the early 1970s. The worn condition of many examples reflects their heavy use, but this also means they have been a constant companion in the economic lives of countless people. One of the appealing aspects of the design is its balance. The obverse and reverse complement each other, with the formality of the Queen's portrait balanced against the natural beauty of the lyrebird. Even when worn, this balance remains intact, and the artistry still shines through. It demonstrates the thought and care that went into designing coins that could withstand both time and constant use. For beginner collectors, circulated coins like the 1971 10-cent are accessible and affordable. They provide an excellent starting point for learning about coin grading, history, and preservation. More experienced collectors might not seek them out for rarity, but they often appreciate them for their role in building complete date sets or as nostalgic reminders of earlier times. The circulated condition adds an extra layer of story. Each scratch or smudge is evidence of the coin's long journey, making it almost like a diary written in metal. When placed next to an uncirculated or proof example, the contrast is striking. Yet, both conditions have their appeal. The pristine version for its perfection, and the circulated one for its history. Many people overlook small denomination coins, but the 1971 10-cent is proof that even the most modest pieces of currency can carry deep meaning and artistry. It represents a time when coins were not only functional but also designed to showcase national symbols and wildlife in a way that connected people with their country. The lyrebird remains an enduring icon, and its presence on the coin ensures that this 1971 issue continues to be appreciated long after it stopped being noticed in everyday circulation. For Australians, the coin can evoke powerful memories of the early 1970s, an era of social change, new music, and shifting culture. This small coin was part of that everyday backdrop. Even today, finding a 1971 10-cent coin in circulated condition is not difficult, but each one carries a unique appearance shaped by its individual journey. Collectors often enjoy comparing these differences, noting how one coin may have worn differently than another despite being struck in the same year. In the end, the 1971 Australian 10-cent coin is more than just a piece of metal. It is a link to the past, a work of design, and a reminder of how even small objects can carry great significance. And when we take the time to study it, even in circulated condition, we find a story worth telling. One that blends history, artistry, and the shared experiences of a nation. The coin itself is made from cupronickel, an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives it its silvery appearance. Although strong and durable, years of circulation often leave these coins with a duller tone, sometimes even showing spots or patches of darker coloration. This natural aging effect tells a story about the environments and hands the coin has passed through. In terms of size, the 1971 10-cent coin is relatively large for a low denomination, measuring 23.6 millimeters in diameter and weighing 5.65 grams. That weight and size gave it a sense of importance, making it feel more substantial than many other coins of similar value around the world. By 1971, Australia was only 5 years into its new decimal currency system. The coin was therefore part of a new era of money, replacing the old florin and shilling coins that people had used for generations. For many Australians, it represented progress, modernization, and a fresh start in everyday life. The circulated condition of a 1971 coin also offers collectors a unique perspective. While uncirculated examples show the pristine artistry of the design, circulated ones provide a glimpse into how coins actually lived in the world, carrying scratches, wear, and tarnish from decades of use. For collectors, these differences can be fascinating. Each circulated coin is unique, almost like a fingerprint, with its own combination of marks and discoloration that make it distinct from all others struck in the same year. The obverse design by Arnold Machin was used across many Commonwealth nations during this time, making the 1971 Australian 10-cent coin part of a larger family of coins worldwide. This makes it not just a national symbol, but also a link to a broader history of mid-20th century coinage. The reverse design by Stuart Devlin has stood the test of time, remaining unchanged on the 10-cent coin even today. This consistency makes the 1971 issue especially meaningful, as it shows how strong and timeless the design has been for over half a century. Circulated coins like this often stir memories for Australians who grew up in the 1970s. People may remember using them for bus fares, newspapers, or small treats like lollies and ice creams. These little coins were part of everyday life, connecting generations with shared experiences. Because the 1971 10-cent coin is not considered rare, it doesn't command high value on the collector's market in circulated condition. However, its true value lies in its history and the story it tells about a time when Australia was still adjusting to its new money system. The wear on these coins can vary greatly. Some examples may still show clear details, while others are heavily smoothed from years of handling. This variation makes collecting circulated examples interesting, as each piece tells a slightly different story. Another fascinating aspect of the 1971 issue is the cultural significance of the lyrebird itself. Known as one of the world's greatest mimics, the lyrebird can reproduce the sounds of other birds, chainsaws, and even camera shutters. Its image on the coin reminds Australians of their country's rich natural heritage. For many collectors, Australian coins from the early decimal period hold a special charm. They represent a nation finding its identity through modern coinage while still paying homage to its natural world and British ties through the Queen's portrait. Even though this coin is over 50 years old, millions were minted, ensuring that they still turn up in collections and sometimes even in circulation today. Spotting one can feel like discovering a relic of the past in your change. The design balance between the obverse and reverse is one of the strengths of this coin. The regal portrait of the Queen contrasts with the organic beauty of the lyrebird, blending authority with nature in a way that resonates strongly with Australia's identity. When compared with coins from other nations during the same era, The 1971 10-cent coin stands out for its elegance and the level of detail in its engraving. It reflects Stuart Devlin's unique talent for combining functionality with artistry. Coins in circulated condition also spark conversations about the importance of preservation. While some people prefer pristine examples, others value the journey and human connection found in a coin that has been used by thousands of people. There is something deeply authentic about a circulated coin. It feels alive, carrying decades of history within its small surface. Each scratch is a chapter, each worn edge a reminder of its endurance. The 1971 10-cent coin is also a reminder of how coins act as miniature ambassadors of a nation. They carry national symbols, wildlife, and leaders, showing the world a piece of Australia's character and heritage. Holding a circulated coin from 1971 can also bring a sense of nostalgia. It connects us to a time before digital payments, when coins and notes were essential in everyday life and each transaction carried a tangible, physical exchange. The fact that this design remains unchanged today speaks volumes about its success. Few coin designs around the world survive unchanged for more than 50 years, and this makes the Lyrebird coin an enduring symbol of Australia's coinage system. Collectors often build full-date runs of 10-cent coins, and the 1971 issue is a key part of such collections. Even in circulated condition, it fills an important space in understanding the development of Australia's decimal currency. The circulated state of this coin also encourages us to think about the durability of cupronickel. Despite heavy use, most coins survive decades without breaking apart, proving the strength of the alloy chosen for Australia's decimal coins. For those new to collecting, a 1971 10-cent coin can serve as an affordable entry point. It is not expensive but carries plenty of history and design interest to capture the imagination of anyone curious about coins. Because it is still relatively easy to find, the 1971 coin also allows people to explore coin grading. Comparing a heavily worn example with a lightly circulated one is a great way to learn how condition affects both beauty and value. Over time, circulated coins like this can develop natural patina, sometimes with tones of gray, blue, or even subtle rainbow colors. Collectors often appreciate these natural colorations, as they add depth and individuality to the coin. Looking at the coin under magnification can reveal details that the naked eye might miss. Even in circulated condition, the strokes of the engraving and the shapes of the feathers remain impressive under closer inspection. The coin also has practical importance. As one of the lower denominations, the 10-cent coin was essential in giving people flexibility in transactions, ensuring smooth day-to-day exchanges. By 1971, inflation had not yet reduced the value of small denominations significantly, so the 10-cent coin was widely used and held real purchasing power. That is one reason why so many 1971 coins show heavy wear today. For historians, coins like this one act as primary sources. They are artifacts of their time, carrying both political and cultural symbols that reveal what a country valued and wished to project to its people and the world. For Australians today, this coin can also serve as a teaching tool. Parents and grandparents may use it to tell younger generations about life in the early 1970s and about how money looked and felt in those days.